Hi.
Hi. Good. Should we go live?
Okay. Hello.
Why sleep is important for us and why Laura didn't finish her 21 shots. That's Juvanni anti-aging podcast, really. Like, really. Ready?
Set.
Yay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Juvanni's podcast. We have finally managed to get everything set up. It was bit of the road to success is always paved with all the problems and obstacles. So it was like an obstacle path. In the morning, we were like, oh, there is no electricity in the house.
Electricity.
And then while we were, and also you had, so we changed. In the morning, we changed to my office, and then I was like, okay, electricity came back.
Yeah.
But now the electricity here is here, but only in half of my house. So
we're a little chilly, but we're managing.
We're like all bundled up and everything. So, how was your Halloween?
It was very nice.
I heard that you did not finish your 20 shots of vodka.
I did not.
They were lined.
They were lined up.
Why? Why was that important for you?
Well, in my desperate plight for anti-aging, alcohol is not good for your skin.
Yes, absolutely. And why do you think that is?
Because it dehydrates you.
Yes, right. Absolutely. It dehydrates.
Right.
And also when you're drinking, alcohol is now processed through our liver, so it is like it has toxic effects on the liver. So it slows down the process of all the other minerals and stuff that the body needs. So we do, but I don't mind if people do party, but they stay. Sometimes once in a while you need to party. Like as you can see, like even in the background, they were mentioning, oh yeah, you're like all this anti-alcohol, and look at all the alcohol in the background. And I still like people to come and see me. I don't want them to stop seeing me.
Absolutely.
Like, because I've become like such a purist. She called me, Janet called me a purist the other day. She's like, you're such a purist. And I'm like, oh. Is that like a compliment or something? Or is it something else?
I think that's a compliment. That's a nice thing. Right?
It's good to be pure, yeah.
You try.
Well, I am not pure at all, though. But I don't feel pure in other ways.
Well, I guess you have to pick and choose, right?
Exactly.
We are human.
Yes.
We have to have our little vices.
Absolutely. I know all your vices. I know only like 10% of your vices, and I might like jaw drop, so maybe someday you will tell me the rest of them also. So one of the things that we really wanted to mention, and this is like a research just yesterday that got posted on, it was like they were talking about it on NPR, and because we do not have internet, so I have not really looked at it myself, but one of the things that they said is that there is like a metabolite that is increased in our brain when we are not sleeping enough. And our brain usually clears it out only when we fall asleep at night or whenever we fall asleep. So when we fall asleep, the blood flow to the brain just decreases a little bit, and then there is another. So it effectively clears out that toxic byproduct of the brain. So I was very interested in figuring out exactly that is, because they're also saying that when that thing is increased in our brain, sometimes it leads to a vicious cycle of people not being able to sleep. So sleep is very important, not only for appropriate function of our brains, but also sleep is very important for anything else, like anti-aging or the way your skin will look like and stuff. And many people are unable to develop the sleep hygiene, which is important. For us. That is one thing. And the other thing that I say, that if you are not able to sleep that well, learn to meditate, because when you meditate, some of the restful aspects that impact on the brain is extremely, there is now full research that explains how the brain actually totally clears itself and cleanses itself when you're meditating. So I've been meditating almost like an hour in the morning and an hour at night, because I just think that that's been so helpful to me. And now I feel that it does not. My sleep requirement has gone down because of my meditation. So because when you're meditating, they say that the restoration in your brain is more intense than the deepest part of your sleep. So sleep, when you're asleep, you have like stages. There is like a light sleep, then there is an REM sleep, then there is a very deep portion of sleep, and then you wake up. And even through the night, we tend to wake up very, very quick, fairly often. And then in the morning, you will never really remember all the times that you woke up, because it would be such a small spike. And people who monitor their sleeps, I like people to monitor their sleeps at least a week every 3-4 months. I don't like to constantly be attached to a monitor, because that's like OCD. It's like, what the heck? I shouldn't be, because I started doing that. I used to, monitor myself, and then I was like, I had this thing in my brain where I was like, if I don't have like this amount of deep sleep, then will my day be bad? So I didn't want to give suggestions to my brain that, because you didn't do so. That's our ego that starts, telling us.
Our ego.
I know. So you have to learn. So women are very self-aware and conscious. Most men I have come across are not that, but gay men are. I've seen a lot of gay men who are really. I mean, I work with them also, so we have like a lot of clients and friends who are gay. So they're very self-aware, and they know like when they're tired, what they need. They listen to their bodies. We also need to learn to listen to our bodies. Absolutely. It's very, very important. So I got like a lot of feedback from about our last talk, where we were talking about the vaginal rejuvenation and the sexual problems that women face when they're perimenopause, menopause. So a lot of women actually texted me and also called and met me asking about that. They wanted to know, is there a downtime? What do we do? What are the procedures available? So basically in my office, we have a laser, which is called FemiLift. And FemiLift is something that women use as we get older. We get really dry, and that's when a lot of problems and urinary tract infections and even sexual decline starts happening around that time. So this is recommended. I recommend it doing once a year at that point, and sometimes in combination. We work very closely with your gynecologist, because you have to have a recent pap smear that has to be provided, and it should be normal. And the other thing is that I like to also look at your hormones, so to see like where you are in the trajectory of your health, because sometimes we take care of every part of our body, but we ignore the parts where sexuality, especially female sexuality, is concerned, and it's a very important part of your overall health and your brain. It's not that important when you're like especially when we are very young, we're just exploring. That's and you guys don't have any problems, but especially when you start turning into your late 40s or 50s or 60s, and then even further than that, it really starts declining, and it's one of the first signs of an aging body. So very important. I invite women to go and find providers like myself, and right now there is like so many providers like myself, like almost everywhere, like in every town you would find somebody who's really good, who is doing appropriate anti-aging treatments, and there are like a lot of spas, but you also have to be careful don't settle for a spa that is not does not have doctors there. You have to have doctors. And for something like Femilift, I would say, go to. I prefer female doctors, but a lot of women who come to us, they're like, really. But we also help men. So men should also treat. There are like a lot of therapy places where they can go, and it's like a very thriving business. It's like really a lot of people are doing it, and a lot of people are seeking this help because none of this help is considered essential, and it's not really covered by insurance. So for men, there is like, if they have sexual dysfunction, they go and get Cialis. But for women, there is really nothing. There is like a pill that they just recently got approved for this thing, but none of the insurances unfortunately cover any of this thing. And that is one thing that I also want to talk about. Like, we gotta change. Because aging starts affecting people by the time they start, they get into their 60s or middle 60s and stuff. And that around that time, most people are on single incomes, and they cannot really afford any of the treatments that they used to get when they were younger. So that is the thing. So what are your when you go to your gynecologist, do they ever ask about your sexual health and this and that or whatever?
I don't recall, because we're talking about so many other things. Yeah, I mean, now that I'm coming into perimenopause, I feel changes in my sexual health. Like, I feel like my mind, my direction is going in a different way. Like, sex is not on my mind.
Okay.
The way that maybe it used to be.
Well, you're more selective, so you don't have to be that. But like, so it's your hormones are like.
Do I get turned on? Is that what you want to know? Yeah. If if the guy is hot, I'm like.
So you're capable of turning into
a sex fiend.
Yes, exactly. That's it's not like, all right, nobody can.
No,
I'm not bothered by anything.
But I feel
I've achieved nirvana. I haven't.
But I feel like, and I don't know, like, I'm speaking for myself. For me, getting turned on sexually is a mental thing. Like, you have to stroke my mind. It can't be like, hey, baby. It's gotta be like, hey, baby.
Please don't touch my hair.
Oh, no, we just did it.
Okay, no, I'm kidding. That was a joke. But she's totally right, because when you're totally right, because when they have done women's fMRIs, they have checked how a woman's brain actually lights up under the MRI machine and stuff. Functional MRI, it's imaging of the brain, and a woman's brain, the way it lights up is totally different than what a man thinks. And I was looking at that. They have done like a full documentary, and it's like so fun. I'm going to actually post it in this video if anybody is interested at some point. But it is so cool. So you're totally right. So women's or you're talking about not just turning on, but also so that is different. These are different categories. You have to learn and unlearn certain things.
Right. I feel like
to remain youthful.
Somebody texted me, "Good morning, beautiful," and I was like, "Oh!" I got all excited. I was like, "Oh, all the juices are flowing."
That was just me.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Text me every day. It's all right.
Nobody texts me good morning.
The juices are flowing. It's all good. Text
thank God nobody texts me that, because if somebody says that, I'm like, "What the fuck you want?" Get out of here.
Not me.
I'm busy.
Hey,
I'm doing my thing. I'm good. Please. Don't come here. Just listen to my podcast later if you want to talk to me. All right, very important.
Yeah.
I would say please go and visit your GYN. A lot of gynecologists that I know are amazing. They always talk about feminine, not just health and prevention and everything, but they also figure out how women are doing. Because in this department, the moment you start aging, you have to figure out can we extend it a little bit. It will just enhance the quality of your life, the quality of your connections, if you keep it. I tell women that it's your a little bit of a burden of doing everything is also on us to have an open mind.
But I also feel that as we're coming into our 50s, our children are grown. For myself, I mean, my older daughter's 26, my younger daughter is 14, so they're self-sufficient at this point. So now I feel that it's my time to invest now in myself and take care of all of these little important things to prolong my longevity.
Absolutely, and that is why we want aging to become to be considered a disease, because one of the things is that when aging, if we can kind of halt aging or slow down aging, it is going to give you so many more productive years. It will add so much productivity, and you will feel, our existential angst kind of melts away around that time, and you know that you still have some control and agency on your life. We cannot control the external events, but we can control the internal events. So that is one of the reasons, again, coming back, that's why Laura had like a great party last night, and she refused to drink the 20 vodka shots because she's like, hey, my skin is really important and I'm not gonna dehydrate myself, right?
Absolutely.
So I hope everybody stayed safe. If you did not stay safe and if you really overdid it, please come to our office. We offer hangover IVs. So they're like hangover cures. So we give you like this big normal saline bag which has like MIC, it has vitamin C, it has B12.
I've had
and if you're having nausea, we put some Reglan in it also.
I love that.
So you just like really, and we put like a little omeprazole in it also. So it just really calms down your. So that is like, so we do that. And for our for those of us, listen, we've all made mistakes. How many times have I given, many times people invite me to parties because they're like, oh, she'll be able to set up the bag over here for her
Can you
post
carry
party.
it with you? Can you have the IV?
Yes,
I'll
be.
The IV is in you?
That'll be so bad. But it's like, she's like really, bringing out the addict in me.
And then you got the IV.
Like here I'm drinking and here's like the IV so that it doesn't, here's the toxin and here's the antitoxin. So that's almost like, okay, let me get bitten by the snake and here's the antitoxin thing, right? That is like kind of that, but we do it for pleasure. If it pleases you, then I guess do
you drink
for
pleasure?
I could drink.
I know when you were drinking, like why were you doing it?
I was I thought that it was I was using it as a medication to manage my stress. So I used to be like apparently stressed all the time because listen, I have like these two businesses and stuff like that. So and my daughter, she was getting in college and whatever, and then her father had died, so she was also going through grief, and I was also grieving, and there was so much going on. So for me, it was a form of stress relief, and I couldn't really figure out like how much to drink or how less to drink, and I thought that I really have an addictive personality, so I was like, and I had quit smoking before. So I used to smoke also, so that also I used nicotine as stress management. That was my stress management as a doctor. I'm a human being. I tell everybody that, listen, I have to say that knowing everything, I still made these mistakes and I was addicted. So when I quit smoking in 2018, I gained 25 pounds that year. So I quickly switched because we never really, so we basically switch our addictions.
Yeah.
So I was like then trying to curb my stress with food and with wine or whatever, if friends would come. And, then food tastes better when you have it with alcohol or something. It's so yummy, but no, we can't. It was like really affecting my skin. I was like gaining weight. I was not thinking right. I was tired all the time, and I'm a workaholic. So I'm like, I can't be tired. It wasn't good for me.
So the takeaway could be that if you could do one anti-aging thing for yourself, don't drink.
Could be, and hydrate.
Hydrate.
And, no, but it's not just one anti-aging. So we have a list of 10 things. Like
And
literally, we
there's
have a list of 10
things
things.
that really don't cost anything.
Exactly. It doesn't cost anything to eat real food, to make sure that
Drink
you're
your
asleep,
water.
hydrate, meditate. Those things are free. Exercise, do like 4-minute HIIT, which is high intensity interval training. They even have like these, you can like go Google it and it's on YouTube. You can do like a 4-minute workout, and that should like give you some cardiac health. And if you can do this by and far, like, your good days are more than your bad days, it's good. So that's...
body in motion stays in motion.
Yes, exactly. Well,
Right?
yes.
Keep going.
I keep going and go with the flow, so, attain your flow. So thank you so much for watching. We will be posting this also. So today our webcast, we are going on iTunes and Spotify and all the things. So Janet is gonna put up all my videos, and we will have like all our previous videos will also go on iTunes, and we will publish them all together. So thank you so much for watching. We will see you next Friday, same time, and we will post the video for the fMRI for the lady who went female orgasm on MRI. So please don't forget to watch it. We'll post it. Bye-bye. Yay! Did you laugh in between? Hopefully.